What actually is leadership? Seriously, what is a leader? Are you a leader? At what point do you actually know when you are a leader? Are you a little bit confused? So a lot of people are, don't worry. So in this video, I want to help you with helping you to understand what actually is leadership. By the end of this video, you'll be able to know, okay, I know what leadership is, I know what a leader is, and I know some helpful things to help with that. So hello, I am Michael Quigley. I am the founder of Kataholos, and this is one of my t-shirts. And I am the creator of the Kataholos award-winning learning platform, kataholoslearning.co.uk. I'm founder and host of the Kataholos podcast, Food for the Journey, loads of free cool stuff for you there. And I'm on a mission to try and help 1 billion people. So I'd like to help you to be one of them by understanding leadership today in this video. So 4 aspects we're going to talk about leadership. And these videos these days, I've got so much, made so many notes for you. So forgive me if I look at my notes. You might want to make notes, which you might want to listen. Let's look at 4 aspects to help you with what is leadership and what is a leader. So we're going to look at the current context and how we got to this question, why a lot of people get confused. We're going to be looking at definitions, which have helped me to understand what leadership actually is. We're going to look at character traits or personality aspects that you might already have that show you are a leader or could develop as a leader. And we're going to finish with some skills that you really need to have sharp if you want to be considered to be a leader. So how do we get to this point? So you see this all the time. Everybody's on a podcast. Everybody's giving their opinion on social media, online. People have written books, they host podcasts, they give seminars, they give talks on stage. Everybody's a leader, aren't they? They seem to be. How have we actually got to this point? So if you only go back 30 to 40 years, it was all about management. You couldn't do degrees in leadership. People weren't talking about leaders, they're talking about managers. And even though management is a modern thing, it's only about 100 years old, leaders have been around for thousands of years and as long as humans have been around. And there aren't actually that many leaders. It's just the ones that are. We've now got the social media and the marketing and the online ability to present them as if they're everywhere, but they're actually a very small minority of people. Think about it. How many people do you know in your life outside of online that are actual leaders? Yeah, they're leading companies, managing teams, the parents, the community leaders. So it's actually a small amount of people. It just seems to be everybody. And one of the best things I've heard about leadership, and this is to encourage you if you think, am I ever really a proper leader, is Charles Handy, the Irish management guru. So the problem with leadership, being a politician, being a parent, is you never actually get a proper qualification for them. You don't ever arrive with a universally recognized qualification or degree, that says I am a leader and everybody accepts that. Think about that for a minute. When are you a parent? Is it when you have a child? Does that classify you as a parent? When are you a politician? Is it when you're working in politics? And when are you a leader? Is it when you say you are? Right. And that's the problem. There's no universally accepted, understood definition of it. So let's come into some definitions. So I've got 4 here that have really helped me to try and help you. There are others, right? But that's the whole point of this video, is to help you to become less confused and more kind of focused on what leadership is. So the first one to start with is John C. Maxwell, amazing leader. And John C. Maxwell said, paraphrasing his quote, if you don't have followers, you're just not a leader. You're just a person taking a walk. So think about it. If you're going, we're going this way, guys, and there's nobody listening to you, if it's just you on your own, you're not a leader by his definition. And he's quite right. There need to be people, other people who are not you, who you are influencing, either the way they're thinking, the way they're behaving, the way they're living their life. So there has to be an aspect of people following. That's the first one. Second one, which I love, is Dr. Kevin Treston, who was my father's mentor. And he said there must be an element of caring and ethical concern in your leadership. You've got to care. You've got to care about the environment. You've got to care about life and nature. You've got to care about people. There has to be that care. You can't just have people following and you do whatever you want to them. That's not good leadership, right? So far we're saying leader has followers and you care about them. Third one, which I love, my friend Doug, hope he's watching this. Hi, Doug. Doug Brunke is the founder and creator of the Global Chamber in 195 countries currently, trying to help people do business all around the world. And he said, a leader has to have nothing in their mind so they can respond in real time to the needs of their people. So he lived in Japan for a time, he's American, and he has that lovely blend of Eastern and Western understanding of, don't go in there with so many clogged ideas. Stop it. Be present. Listen. Shut up. Empty mind. What are they actually telling you? So I love that. So a leader is somebody who has followers. You care about them. You're present with them. You listen to them. You engage with them. And I got a great quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. And she says, a great leader inspires people to have confidence in themselves. And that's what I really try and do. So people listen to you, that you influence them, you care about them, and you inspire them. You breathe this life into them. You give them confidence. They think, yeah, I can do this. Yeah. If you've got all those, or even just some of those, yeah, you might already be in a leadership position. So that's a bit of a definition. I want to move on to looking at qualities and character traits, right? So what does that actually mean? So if you are a leader, if you're aspiring to be a leader, you've got to take responsibility. If you're scared of responsibility and you don't want to be responsible for other people, don't go into leadership. Because people are going to trust you. They're going to trust you with their lives, with their products, with their families, with their children, with their pets, with their ideas, with all sorts of different things. And you have to be able to respond to that. Yeah. So if you are scared by that and you think that's not for me, you don't have to go into leadership. Loads of people don't. Like I said at the start of this video, most people are not leaders. That's why we need good leaders. Yeah. So responsibility can be scary, but it can also be really exciting because it means you are given kind of the authority to actually make some changes and do some things. So it involves an element of responsibility, and you have to have your eyes fully open to that and go, okay, there's an element of responsibility. I'm going to take that seriously. Leads into the second one, which I fully believe is high standards. If you're a leader with low standards, you're not a leader by definition. The whole point of leadership is to help people to raise the standards and move forward in a better way. Think about it. If everybody already had really high standards, we're doing great. There's no need for leaders, but that's not the case. People make mistakes, things go wrong, the law of entropy, things fall apart. It's part of life. And so we have to have high standards. We take responsibility, keep high standards, maintain high standards, right? Got to have that. So if you're the kind of person got really high standards, it's a really good thing. The third one is vision. Vision is that ability to go, oh, wow, I can see that. Now, it might be a sensation of seeing something or feeling something or knowing something, but you've got to be able to paint the picture of this is where we are and this is where we're going. This is where we are and this is where we're going. We used to be there, but now here, we're going there. That's what the visionary aspect of leadership involves. Because again, if we didn't need to move towards a better place, why do anything? And it's great to embrace the present moment, but there are people that are starving, there are people that are in a lot of pain, and we can do things to help them. So how do you actually do that? You have to have the ability to see before it's happened. Maybe we could do this, maybe that. That's the creativity coming in line. So if you're a visionary, if you can see some stuff, see making things better in the future. Yeah, JF Kennedy said we're going to go to the moon in 10 years in America, and I think it was the 60s. That's vision. So if you've got that, great. And then the communication skills to actually get people on side, yeah, and to be able to listen. Great leaders are world class at listening. I used to think it was about talking, being on stage, writing, speaking. The issue with a lot of this content, including my own, there's no space for me to listen to you. Just really take that in. The whole point making this video, by the way, is I've listened to people and they've asked me these questions, and that's why I'm making it for you. But you've got to be able to shut up and listen and ascertain and figure out and discern what do they need? What's going on here? Really listen with your full heart, right? That is leadership. So those are qualities: responsibility, high standards, vision, communication skills. But then they've got to then follow on into the final thing, which is skills. A skill set is something that you can do, usually under pressure, with repeated practice, and you're trying to get better. Yeah. Personality trait and characteristics. So that's kind of who I am, and I'm developing myself. Whereas a skill, you can do it or you can't. Can you get in the car and drive it? Can you speak the language? Yeah, that's the difference. There's skills, and a skill is something you practice and you get better at. So as I go through these now, if you're thinking, I don't really have that, I can't really do that yet, don't worry about it. You can get better. So motivating others is probably one of the number one skills you have to have. Yeah, I've got models I can help you with that. You can learn all that. But you have to be able to have people care and get fired up and think, we can actually do this. Because if people are demotivated, they're either not going to do anything, they're not going to make the change, they'll be resistant to it, or they'll do it like 50%. But if you can motivate people and inspire them and help them, like Eleanor Roosevelt said, to have confidence in themselves, like, yeah, we can do this. That's a skill set, Side tip, if you want to start with that, you think, where on earth do I start with the ability to do that? I'm not that kind of person. Just ask them what are the three most important things in their life. Start with that question. It's part of my motivational model, 5 types of motivation. Just say, what are the most important things in your life? Give me 3. Don't give them any help. You'd be surprised to tell you straight away. And then once you know those things, you can go, well, that's what they actually care about. Okay, I can link these things together. So you've got to be able to motivate other people. The second one, you've got to be able to create solutions. Leadership is all about solutions. It's about avoiding problems, mitigating risks, solving problems, and preventing things from happening in the first place. So this is where the fun bit comes in, right? Try and train people up to bring you solutions as well as problems, but some people don't like that. If you're working with children, they're not going to do that. They're just going to go, here are my problems. If you're working with vulnerable people, disabled people, people that are emotionally in difficult situations and distressed, they're not going to consider you and care about you. They want their needs fulfilling. Somebody's starving, then they're starving, right? And so what we have to be able to think of is go, okay, how can I make that better and not worse? That's problem solving. That's leadership. And if you embrace the fact that you're going to get a lot of problems given to you all the time, and most of them, 99% of them, you didn't create, it's just part of leadership, you'll be able to relax and go, okay, this is what it might say. Oh yeah, it's part of leadership. It's my role here to create solutions. And you can definitely do it. And linked into that, another skill which I fully believe in is leaders need to be able to create new ways of thinking, new ideas, right? So you're trying to solve this problem, you're like, can we do it like completely the opposite of how it used to be? Can we do it? If we take part of that and swap that and change that? You know, Bruce Lee was amazing for that. When he used to say to absorb what is, necessary, discard what's useless, and there's a new form. And he created Jeet Kune Do. Incredible. So try and see it in a new way and recognize. You might think, I don't like the way it's been done. I could see us doing it differently. Follow that thought. Could be amazing. And the final two skills, which are really, really important. One is something that I've learned through leadership in business, and the final one is something I learned through volunteering work, is you've got to be able to create value for people as a leader. There are things that you won't care about, but your customers do, your clients do, your followers do, your team do. Yeah. And like I said before, if you care about them, you can then create value around that. You don't have to think it's the best thing in the world. It doesn't have to be important to you. That actually doesn't matter. It's about them. It's always about them. And if you can create value for them, and that's amazing. So, for example, if somebody's obsessed with trains and every time you talk to them, you make a train analogy, that's valuable. You've created a valuable context there. That's actually going to switch them on, right? So be thinking, where is the value? Not in your own personal preferences. You got to go beyond that as a leader. You have to be able to create value. You can create value out of nothing if you know what people care about, which is what I said about motivating people. And the final one is you got to care about them. You got to show them love, consideration, yeah, empathy. You got to be kind to them. Why? Well, selfishly, they will help you better and they'll be more motivated. But just because it's the right thing to do. And that's a skill set, that ability to care about people regardless. I don't mean you care about the good people and not the bad people. No. If you care about people just in general, your ability as a leader, your skill set just goes to astronomical level. Because the converse is also true. If you only care about what you care about, and that's a very small set of things, most of the world out there does not care about what you care about. That makes sense. But if you can flip it and say, what does the world care about? What does the world need that I can help with? Then it's all open to you. It's all open to you, and you can engage with it, and you'll be absolutely outstanding as leader. Right. So hopefully that's helpful for you. You've got a context now for understanding why leadership can get a bit confusing because everybody seems to be a leader, but they're not. We go through a definition. You've got followers, you care about them, you're willing to try and bring out the best in them, inspire them, motivate them. Great. How do you actually do that? Well, you've got these personality and character traits you can start to work on and improve. And then most importantly, you've got the skill set to be able to do it under pressure. You add all those up. You don't need a degree. You don't need a title, as John C. Maxwell said. You just need the willingness and the intention to do it. Starting with this video, I say, do you know what? I've got 90% of that. I am a leader, or I would like to be a leader. I'm going to go do this thing. And you can. Yeah, don't let anybody stop you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please give it a share. Considering subscribing to the Kataholos YouTube channel. There's over 400 videos. I think over 80 videos just on leadership alone. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments. See you soon.